everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about more book series that I won't be finishing. That's right, I'm going to be talking about book series that I'm not going to be finishing. Yeah, don't mind the band-aid right here. I just had a doctor's appointment today. I have my blood drawn, so everything's fine. I just had a doctor's appointment to make sure everything's okay and everything like that. But yeah, from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about book series that I'm not going to be finishing. And I did talk about book series that I won't be finishing back in April, I think. And I thought I would do a part 2 or part 3 or whatever. I just thought I would talk about more book series that I won't be finishing. And I know for some it might be people's favorite book series or just series that I'm just like, I liked the first book but I didn't care enough to continue on with the series. So like something like that. And in case you're wondering about the lighting, I'm sorry if it's terrible right now. The sun's already down and I just didn't have time to film it earlier. But I think the lighting's okay, but I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about book series that I won't be finishing. So the first series that I won't be finishing is Arc of the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. I'll have the picture right here so you guys can see the whole series. I read the first book. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was my cup of tea. I know some people love this series, but for me personally, I just thought it was an okay book for the first book, but I just didn't care enough to continue on with the series. I think I gave the first book like 3.5 stars or 4 stars, but I just didn't care enough to continue on with the series. I thought the world was interesting and all that, but just not enough for me to continue on with this series. And I know this is a very popular book series, and I apologize to anybody who loves this series. It's just, for me personally, I just didn't care enough to continue with this series, so I'm sorry if this is one of your favorite book series, but I'm just not finishing it. So why push myself to finish a series that I probably wouldn't end up enjoying anyway? So yeah, this is sadly a popular book series that I won't be finishing. So yeah, I had to look up for the next book series, but it's called Rime of the Chronicles by Mindy Arnold or Arnett. And the first book is Onyx and Ivory, and the second book is Shadow and Flame. And yeah, this one, again, it was an okay fantasy series, but it just wasn't the ones that kind of gravitates me towards. Like, I honestly forgot almost everything that happened in that book. I know I've read this for a video project like back 4 years ago, I think, and I just didn't care enough to, I know it's a duology, but I just didn't care enough to continue on with the series, just because, like, I honestly don't remember the characters' names or anything like that, or the world, so, like, why bother? So, yeah, another book series I'm just not interested in continuing. So the next book series that is a duology that I'm not going to be continuing, which is The Bone Charmer by Brianna Shields. And this one I was excited to read because it sounded really interesting to me. And then as soon as I read the first book, and I got disappointed. And like, it was a 3-star read for me, I think. I don't remember, but yeah, I got it from a book box many years ago, and I just got disappointed. And I just didn't think about continue on with the series. I thought it was a fantasy standalone, but apparently there was a second book that came out like a year later, and I'm just like, yeah, this book series is not for me. I was disappointed, and I'm just like, why bother continuing a book series that I just didn't, that I got disappointed the most. And yeah, I think this was my most disappointing books of 2020, I think. So yeah, that was another book series that I wasn't planning on continuing. So the next book series that I'm not planning on continuing, which is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Gunn. I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name. And I did enjoy the first book, but I just didn't feel like continuing on with the series because I didn't feel attached to the characters. And I thought the world was interesting, but not interesting enough for me to continue. And I think this was popular when it first came out. I'm not quite sure. By now there were a few booktubers who love the first book, and I haven't heard anything about the second or third book in the series, so it's kind of made me decide not to continue on with the series. So yeah, I thought it was okay, but I just didn't think it was good enough for me to continue on with the series. So this Next book series I'm not going to be continuing just because I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, which is the Bleach manga series, and I forgot the author's name, so I apologize for that, but I've watched the anime so many times since I was like 12 years old when my dad introduced me to Bleach, so I was glad that I was able to read the first manga at least, just because I wanted to experience the manga at least once, and I know I love the anime series, so it's not a big of a deal to me. So like, yeah, there are some mangas that I'm really to continue because I already watched the anime and I like the series already, and I know like that's always debatable with a lot of adaptations when it comes to book series or mangas, but I know that I'm a big anime fan, so I'm not making a big deal of me not continuing with the series. So the next book series that I'm not continuing on, and this is another popular one as well, which is the Shadow and Bone trilogy or the Grishaverse books. I am sad that I'm not going to continue on with the series because I know that I like the first two books, but I just couldn't gravitate towards to finish at least the first trilogy before getting to Six of Crows, and I'm sad that I'm not getting into those books because I know that it's a popular book series and I know that many people love this series, but for me personally, I think I waited too long to try out the series, and I know some people say it's never too late, but with that series, it just came out, I think it was published like after I got out of high school or something like that, but yeah, I know that the characters were interesting to me, but not interesting enough for me to continue on with the series and move on to other series in that same universe. So, and I know there's the show that came out, but I don't know if it's canceled or not. Most like, I don't know, but I know I want to try that because I know the actors, one of the actors that is in it, but I just can't continue on with the series. Like, I know many people love this series, but I just couldn't continue on because of not interested enough to continue on with the series. So I'm sorry if many people love this series, so, but yeah, I just couldn't continue on. And the next series I'm not finishing is the Valiant series by Leslie Livingston, and I did like the first book fine. I just didn't think I needed to continue on with the series. I like the first book fine, but I just didn't want to continue on with the series just because I just liked the first book fine. I liked how it ended, and I just didn't think it needed a trilogy, but yeah, that's just how I feel with this series, and I know that I think I got this book for a recommendation from Haley and Bookland like a few years ago, and I know that the way she praised it was awesome and all that, but I don't know if she actually finished the series or not, but I know that for me, I like the first book fine. I just don't think it needs a trilogy, in my opinion, so yeah, that's my reason why for not continuing this series. Another book series that I'm not finishing is the Splintered series by H.D. Howard, and I did not like the first book. I'm honestly sad about it. Like, I was listening to the audiobook, and I thought the world was interesting, but I just didn't gravitate towards the characters for some reason, or was the characters were interesting, and the world wasn't that interesting to me, and I just thought it was a weird experience for me. I mean, I know it's an Alice in Wonderland retelling, which I do like Alice in Wonderland, but I feel like with Alice in Wonderland retellings, they're a hit or miss for me, so and this was another book that I got from a recommendation from Haley and Bookland, so, but yeah, I'm willing to give H.G. Wells another chance, because I know she wrote other books that are like other retellings from what I've seen, and I'm just interested in that, but I don't know when I'll give this author a chance, but another chance, but I'm pretty sure I will. But with this series, I just did not like the first book, and I didn't think that it'll be worth it to continue on with the series just to see if it's better. But yeah, that's my reason for not continuing this one. So another manga series that I'm not going to be continuing, which is Children of the Whales by Abby Maeda, I think that's what the author's name. And again, I'm sorry for pushing the author's name. I mean, I was liking the first few books of the series, but at the same time, I felt like everything was going downhill for me. So I know I want to try the anime. I think there's an anime out, so I might get that one a shot, but for the manga series, I'm just like, yeah, maybe it's time to give up and move on to other mangas that I want to try, which is okay because I know sometimes when things don't go the way it's planned for me, I just want to move on to other mangas that I want to try out. But yeah, with this one, I was liking the series, but everything was going downhill for me. And the last book series, which is another manga series, and I'm sad to say that I'm giving this up, but it's just really hard to gravitate towards, just because, like, yes, I know it's bookish, but at the same time, if I want to own those mangas, they're very pricey when you want to try it or I'm online, which is Library Wars, and I was liking it, and because of, like, it's supposed to be like a, like librarians have their own departments like the police, except they try to have solve stuff. I'm trying to remember on top of my head because I don't think I've read the last manga of that series or the first volume that I've read. It was like last year or so, and I was like, yeah, it's time to give up. I mean, I thought I liked the characters were really interesting, and I really like the world, but I had to give up because the paperbacks or try to own a copy at least. One was like $20, and I'm like, usually manga's like around 10, so yeah, not worth for me to continue on with the series for that reason. And I know I could try the anime even though it was never dubbed, but I can still try to watch it in the original subbed, but yeah, unfortunately, this one, it was hard for me to give up because it's bookish and I like the series, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to give up. So that is all for the book series that I won't be finishing. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and comment down below what book series that you gave up on, because I would like to know. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you know if I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!